So I'm going to talk about startup challenges today. My name is Mandeep. I am a founder for a nonprofit and also a product leader in industry. I do work for an MNC. The session agenda for today is going to start up with a little bit of introduction. Then I wanted to do a quick audience pulse check before I actually get into the crux of the subject, which are startup challenges. And then, of course, I think this topic is going to intrigue basically, my goal today is to discuss my experience. And recently, I was part of a research around what are the challenges faced by startup ecosystems. So I'm going to share some of my personal research that I did as part of a project that I did. And these are insights from that research. So um, before we move forward, if you can all take out your mobile phones or directly go to menti.com and enter this code. I will probably hold this. This is probably a quick pulse check on what kind of audience we got. So we just want to know what you expected from this session when you attended. I'm gonna hold this for 30 seconds so that everyone has time to join. Okay, let's see how many people are joining. Okay, we see 3 people have joined. Let's wait. Go to menti.com.
Mandeep, it is question number 1. And
yeah, but there are only 3 people. I'm just waiting for more people to join.
Okay.
Because I see how many people are there on call. 14, right?
Now we have about 17 participants, Mandeep.
Quickly, please join. Let's get engaging. It's fun to talk about things that you care about. You have taken out precious time out of your Saturday mornings to listen to us. So the more you can give, the more you can take out of this. Hopefully this is a learning session for you as well, because some of these insights are very interesting. Are people joining? Is there any issue? Is anyone facing any technical issue you want to raise? Silence. Golden silence. Okay. All right, then let's not wait anymore. Let us move ahead with the session. So question number 1, I'm going to just start. Okay, actually drop down. So I have to go back to sorry, my computer rebooted, so all of this got lost.
Yeah, it's okay, Mandeep, then technical issues are a part of this virtual world now.
Yeah. So, okay, let us kickstart this quiz. And, okay, now look at your phone. I want to know, why are you interested in this topic of startup challenges? Please vote. Oh, okay. Nobody's a startup founder. Okay, so you guys will be surprised from the insights that I have later. What outcomes do you expect out of this session? And you can enter up to 3 words. It's a word cloud, so I just want to hear out what outcomes are you guys expecting. Are you guys able to hear me? Yeah, okay.
Yes, right.
Solutions, clarity. Come on, others. All right, so solutions, clarity, challenges, startup insights, positioning, competition, marketing. Interesting. And solutions again. And finance. That's a good one. All right, thank you. Let's move ahead to the last one. What are the biggest startup challenges according to you? People who are not founders yet, but probably talking to their friends, family, looking at industry from outside perspective. What do you think? Where do you think startups fail? Funding, customer acquisition. Ah, some very brilliant people here. Finding right team. Okay. Funding, brand building, problem identification. Is there anything coming in last? All right then. Awesome. So thank you so much for your feedback. It kind of positions us well from where we started. So I'm going to go back to my presentation. And this is an interesting insight, right? Because what we did was we went back to a personas, to interview, survey, and we selected a persona which was approximately 30 founders, co-founders, people who have either started a startup, been running it for 15 years. So 90% of our responders were startup founders, right? And then 90% of our responders were also tech focused. So somehow either they were directly aligned with technology focus, driving something in tech innovation, or they were trying to solve an existing problem, whether it's in e-commerce, whether it's in any other space, oil, shipping, gas, in with using technology, using AI, using ML, so all the latest tech trends out there. Over 80% of our responders are aware of and using latest market and industry trends. This is very interesting, right? Because you see these startup founders have the understanding of market acumen. They do their customer discoveries. They do their marketing offline, online. They look at their market analysis. They look at revenue generation, product strategy, but then these are the same things that they struggle with as well. right? Though they think they know these things, they still struggle with it because reality is different than what's being available on Google for you to research and learn through. Um, Based on our research via surveys, and we actually interviewed a lot of startup co-founders, the primary challenges that we identified can be bucketed into four different uh, uh, pillars. The first one being revenue, and I saw a lot of you give that feedback about revenue and funding. Revenue generation is number one challenge, and fundraising is another challenge. Getting investors, managing cash flow, and all this cash flow is required because you're probably trying to hire people to support your business. You want to acquire more customers, yes, grow your sales, get the product, or increase your production, increase your scale, right? And then the second piece is, of course, it ties back to revenue generation, which is also customer acquisition, right? So it starts with product acceptance. Are customers even accepting your products, right? The one you are trying to sell. How are you positioning your product? Sometimes your positioning is so wrong that customers don't even know that what is the value proposition your product is going to provide. They struggle with lead generation, and this is again part of the customer positioning or product positioning, right? And then, of course, they are worried about customer acquisition cost because there is cost associated with how much marketing they can do. And they're also worried about, if a customer does get on board, how to get that customer for lifetime or a long time and get that customer lifetime value out of it, right? Not just one-time customers. And then third pillar is time to market, where they are struggling with product development, how much product they should continue developing. I have seen startups who have been spending almost 2 years in product development, and by the time they are ready to go to market, ready to implement their marketing strategy, there is some other startup who came with a POC type concept and tested customers quickly and built solutions using some hack, and they were able to acquire customers before that, and they started working on their product. So there is a difference between how you manage a prototype versus a fully built minimum viable product, right? So people spend a lot of time in understanding these terminologies where they struggle. And then they also struggle with their feature releases. How quickly, how should they pace their backlogs? How should their features be coming out? Which one should we prioritize? What are the customers' most biggest needs? So prioritization becomes very difficult. And last but not the least, and this is actually the biggest reason why startups fail, number one reason, is the mental strength of the founders, right? Because there is a pressure of delivery from investors. If you have taken even from friends and family, there is a pressure to manage family expectations. Your sister calls, or your brother calls, or somebody else from your friend circle calls, and you were doing this startup. What is happening? So there is a lot of pressure of, yes, yes, it's coming, yes, yes, it's coming, is what you try to say, right? Then there is a lot of financial pressure because you probably would have left your job for 2 years to take that break. Now your funds are drying up. You probably don't have another source of fund. And then, of course, you kind of also put pressure on your physical health and mental health because of all these pressures. So mental strength is very important. What we have found is talking to people, getting help from an expert in this space, whether it's a counselor or a mentor of a startups who can guide you. If you already have someone who is there to guide you, great. If you don't, go find someone, find yourself a coach and work towards it. With that, thank you so much for listening to me. I am open for questions if there are any.